my painting, Harbinger. I came late to the Equinox project. I was very excited to be invited about a month ago. My life has been fairly difficult in the last year or so. I left an extremely stressful job, and then I got sick, and I actually haven't done any artwork since December. So I'm really excited about that too. Getting the Equinox subject was kind of the bit of focus that I needed, and then I was so pleasantly surprised when I started researching Equinox, and I found that it fits in so well with all of my work and the things that I am interested in. First off, I'm a Libra. Balance is huge for me in everything, in all things, and so the notion of the equinox being at that point in the sky where we're half dark and half light approximately, I found that really a concept that I could run with. This is part of actually it ended up being part of my late stage painting series. I started it several years ago during another project, the Alchemy Project, in which I made my own walnut ink. Before that I was doing regular watercolors, but I found the walnut ink added a certain atmosphere, a certain apocalyptic quality, frankly, to my landscapes, and I liked it. In fact, the walnut ink affected all my color, actually. So now I'm more muted. The previous work was very much more saturated. So when I was putting it together, naturally with an equinox, I originally thought, well, the coronavirus, the light would be hitting it from the same direction. But my artist me was like, well, that's not going to be good, all dark on one side. That's one of the things I don't like about symmetry. So I switched it, and the minute I did that, the whole thing just came together for me and worked even more towards the idea of the coronavirus and in connection with the equinox and how we are at a tipping point, perhaps. So I flipped it, and the shadow's on the other side. So we've got a paradox. So this created sort of a paradox. How can the sun be on one side and on the other side in the landscape, which I think perfectly fits, because so many things are backwards now. So many things have changed. They're confusing, they're disjointed. We don't quite know how to deal with them, and I feel like this really embodies that concept, that idea of the equinox. The title of the painting is Late Stage Harbinger. The medium is watercolor, gouache, walnut ink, and it's on Fabriano watercolor paper. As I was researching the concept of equinox, I was struck by the timeliness of exploring this subject at this moment in our shared human journey. After all, Anna Ill and Mary Ellen Haynes conceived of this project over a year ago. How could they or anyone at that time imagine where we would be today? The equinox is that instant in time when the sun is directly over the equator, causing day and night to be roughly equal. It is the tipping point between summer and fall, winter and spring, a natural time of change on Earth. Equivalent to being at the top of the Ferris wheel or the bottom of the barrel, it is the moment between, moving neither up nor down, frozen in transition. The COVID-19 pandemic laid bare the inequality and instability of our economy. And then, before our very eyes, a white police officer slowly murdered a black man in Minneapolis. For many, having spent months in isolation with a lot of time to think, the brutality of that act finally and forever broke through the shiny facade that blunted their awareness of the white supremacy that pervades our society. Woke is absolutely the right word for it, and I don't think we will ever be the same again. A massive coronavirus hangs over an apocalyptic landscape. a harbinger of the change that is upon us. The equinox divides the landscape light to dark, while the coronavirus reflects the opposite, dark to light, representing the chaotic disruption that we are experiencing as we live through that moment between.